The year was 2257, and the world watched in awe as Dr. Elias Chambers, a brilliant yet humble scientist, unveiled his latest invention, the gate jumper. This device, a revolutionary breakthrough in physics, promised instantaneous travel across the vast reaches of space. Chambers, driven by a vision of unity and exploration, freely divulged the technology's secrets to every corner of the Earth. From the lowest of workers to the highest of kings, the knowledge spread like wildfire, igniting imaginations and stirring hopes for humanity's next grand adventure. At an international summit in Geneva, leaders from Earth, Luna, and Mars gathered to discuss the implications of this new technology. The conference room buzzed with tension and excitement as representatives from the North American states, the European Union, China, Russia, Korea, India, and Japan took their seats. President Julia Anderson of the North American states, a pragmatic yet idealistic leader, addressed the assembly. "Ladies and gentlemen, we stand at the precipice of a new era. The gate jumper offers us a chance to explore the cosmos, to find new homes, and to ensure the survival of our species. But this must be a collective endeavor. We must form a united front, a coalition that transcends borders and ideologies." Her words resonated with many, but skepticism lingered in the air. Prime Minister Hiroshi Tanaka of Japan, known for his cautious diplomacy, raised a pertinent question. How can we ensure that this technology does not become a tool of division? That it does not lead to a new era of colonialism and conflict? Dr. Chambers, seated among the scientific advisors, leaned forward. "The gate jumper represents more than a technological leap, it is a symbol of our potential to unite. We must create a framework that promotes cooperation and peace, not competition and war." After days of intense debate, a consensus emerged. The Interstellar Soul Alliance, ISA, was born, a coalition dedicated to peaceful expansion and mutual support. With its creation, humanity took its first unified steps into the cosmos. The initial phase of colonization began with Luna, Earth's moon. The lunar landscape, once desolate and lifeless, transformed into a bustling hub of human activity. Domed cities sprang up, protected from the harsh environment by advanced technology. These cities became a testament to human ingenuity and determination. Luna's first governor, Maria Santiago, a former astronaut and engineer, spearheaded the efforts, ensuring that the colony thrived. Next came Mars, the red planet. Colonization here was more challenging, but humanity was undeterred. Terraforming efforts began in earnest, with scientists and engineers working tirelessly to create a habitable environment. Governor Rajesh Patel, a visionary leader with a background in environmental science, oversaw the transformation of barren deserts into fertile land. The Martian colony soon gained independence, and together with Earth and Luna, formed the core of the ISA. Under the ISA's guiding principles, the nations of Earth set aside their differences and looked to the stars. The North American states established colonies on Europa, while the European Union focused on Titan. The People's Republic of China targeted Ganymede, and Russia set its sights on Callisto. Korea, India, and Japan each found their own niches among the moons and asteroids of the solar system. Humanity's reach extended far beyond the solar system. The spirit of exploration and unity fostered by the ISA endured, but new challenges emerged. The expansion was not without its tensions, old rivalries occasionally flared, but the shared vision of a prosperous future kept the alliance intact. Now in the year 2280, an unexpected signal disrupted the routine of the Russian space agency. A faint, rhythmic ping echoed through the void, unlike anything ever encountered. Dr. Elena Markov, a leading astrophysicist, quickly identified it as an artificial transmission from an unknown source. The news spread like wildfire, rekindling the excitement and curiosity of humanity's early days of exploration. The ISA called for an emergency summit. Representatives from all member nations convened on the orbital station Unity 1, a symbol of human cooperation orbiting Earth. President Anderson's descendant, President Jonathan Anderson, now led the North American states. He stood before the assembly, echoing the words of his ancestor. We stand at another precipice, one that promises new opportunities and new challenges. We have detected a signal from what appears to be an alien civilization. This is our chance to make first contact, to learn and to grow. But we must approach this with the same unity and cooperation that brought us to the stars. With unanimous support, a delegation was formed to journey to the source of the signal, a star system a few thousand light-years from Earth. Russia, having detected the signal, led the mission, accompanied by delegates from the North American states, the European Union, China, Korea, India, and Japan. Among the chosen were Captain Alexei Volkov, a seasoned Russian astronaut, and Dr. Maya Patel, a brilliant Indian xenobiologist. As their ship, the ISA Unity, approached the alien system, anticipation and anxiety filled the air. Captain Volkov, a man of few words but strong convictions, addressed his crew. We are on the brink of something monumental. Stay focused, stay united, and remember that we represent all of humanity. The ship arrived at the designated meeting point, where an alien fleet awaited. The aliens, calling themselves the Concord, were a federation of hundreds of species from thousands of worlds. Initial contact was cautious but cordial, with both sides eager to learn from one another. The humans marveled at the diversity and advanced technology of the Concord, while the aliens viewed humanity with a mix of curiosity and condescension. Yet, as humans shared their history and culture, the mood shifted. The Concord, once impressed by human tenacity and creativity, grew horrified by humanity's history of war and division. Whispers of disapproval turned into open condemnation. The Concord's spokesperson, a dignified alien named Rawlok, expressed their collective dismay. How can a species so fractured expect to thrive in a galaxy of unity? You have brought your flaws and conflicts with you. This cannot be tolerated. The humans, taken aback by the harsh judgment, attempted to explain their progress and the spirit of cooperation fostered by the ISA. But the Concord's verdict was swift and unforgiving. We will teach you the error of your ways. Prepare for consequences. As the ISA delegation returned to Earth with heavy hearts, the reality of the Concord's threat loomed large. Humanity had faced its own demons and emerged stronger, but now it stood before an alien federation that saw them as a danger to be eradicated. The stage was set for a conflict that would test the very fabric of human unity and resilience. The ISA Unity returned to Earth in a state of somber reflection. The message from the Concord had been clear: humanity's fractured nature was a liability, and the consequences would be severe. President Jonathan Anderson called an emergency meeting of the ISA Council. Seated around the vast circular table were representatives from Earth, Luna, Mars, and the far-flung colonies, their faces etched with concern. Captain Alexei Volkov, who had led the delegation to meet the Concord, recounted the events. Their disdain for our history was palpable. They see us as a threat to their unity and have promised repercussions if we do not change our ways. Dr. Maya Patel, the xenobiologist, added, they are advanced, with technology and cohesion that we can hardly fathom. We must prepare for the worst and hope for the best. President Anderson, a man known for his steady leadership in times of crisis, stood and addressed the council. We have faced existential threats before, from our internal conflicts to the harshness of space. This is no different. We must show the Concord that we are capable of unity and peace. As the ISA deliberated, news of the Concord's ultimatum spread throughout the colonies, igniting a mix of fear, anger, and determination. On Luna, Governor Maria Santiago rallied her citizens, urging them to prepare for any eventuality. We must show the galaxy that Luna stands with Earth, Mars, and all of humanity. We are stronger together. On Mars, Governor Rajesh Patel coordinated with scientists and military leaders to bolster the planet's defenses. He knew that Mars' strategic position would be crucial in any forthcoming conflict. Our survival depends on our ability to stand united, he declared to his council. Meanwhile, in the Russian colony on Callisto, Admiral Ivan Petrov convened a war council. He was a veteran of many space conflicts and understood the gravity of the situation. The Concord will not wait for us to unify. We must act swiftly and decisively. As humanity braced for potential conflict, the Concord made the first move. A fleet of alien ships appeared at the edges of human-occupied space, their presence a stark reminder of the looming threat. They issued a final warning, demanding humanity's immediate submission and reformation. In response, the ISA dispatched a diplomatic envoy, led by Dr. Elena Markov, the astrophysicist who had first detected the alien signal. Her mission was to negotiate a peaceful resolution. As she approached the Concord's flagship, her heart pounded with the weight of her responsibility. Rawlach, the Concord's spokesperson, greeted her with a mixture of pity and disdain. "We have given you every opportunity to show that you are capable of change. Yet, you remain divided and weak." Dr. Markov took a deep breath. "We acknowledge our flaws, but we also believe in our potential for growth and unity. The ISA is a testament to our commitment to cooperation and peace." Rawlach's eyes narrowed. "Words are meaningless without action. We will give you one final chance. Prove your unity or face eradication." With the weight of the galaxy on her shoulders, Dr. Markov returned to the ISA Council. The ultimatum left them with no choice but to accelerate their preparations. Across the colonies, defenses were bolstered, and alliances were strengthened. For the first time in centuries, humanity stood as one. In the North American states, President Anderson addressed his people with resolve. "We face a threat unlike any other. But we also have an opportunity to prove our worth, not just to the Concord, but to ourselves. We must stand together, united in purpose and spirit." In Japan, Prime Minister Hiroshi Tanaka mobilized his nation's resources, urging cooperation with neighboring colonies. "Our strength lies in our unity. Together, we can overcome any challenge." As the Concord's fleet drew closer, a sense of urgency permeated the ISA Council. Strategies were devised, and contingencies planned. Captain Volkov and Admiral Petrov took command of the combined human fleet, ready to defend their worlds. On the eve of the anticipated conflict, President Anderson and the other leaders held a final meeting. "We must show the Concord that humanity is not defined by its past, but by its potential," Anderson said, his voice steady. "We will fight if we must, but we will also strive for peace." The tension was palpable as the human fleet faced the approaching Concord armada. Captain Volkov's voice crackled over the comms. "This is our moment. For our ancestors who dreamed of the stars, and for our descendants who will inherit them, we stand united." The battle that followed was fierce, a testament to humanity's resilience and determination. Ships clashed in the void, each side fighting with the ferocity born of survival. Amidst the chaos, Dr. Markov continued her efforts to communicate with the Concord, seeking a peaceful resolution. In the end, the ISA fleet managed to hold the line, their unity and strategy proving to be a formidable defense. The Concord, impressed by humanity's resolve, agreed to a ceasefire. Rawlach's final message was one of cautious respect. "Perhaps you are not as weak as we believed. We will watch and see if you can truly change." The temporary ceasefire with the Concord offered humanity a fragile respite. Within the ISA Council chambers, President Anderson and the other leaders grappled with the aftermath of the battle. The scars of recent conflicts were visible on their faces, yet the knowledge of impending danger forced them to remain resolute. Captain Alexei Volkov stood at the center of the room, his presence commanding respect. "We've proven our strength," he began, his voice steady. "But strength alone won't suffice. We must show the Concord that we can truly unify, not just in the face of external threats but in our everyday existence." Governor Maria Santiago of Luna leaned forward, her eyes intense. "Luna and Mars are ready to continue our cooperation. But we need Earth's unwavering commitment. We can't afford to return to old rivalries. Dr. Maya Patel spoke next, her tone pragmatic. The Concord's eyes are upon us. If we falter now, they will return in force, and we won't survive another assault. Despite the urgency, dissent brewed within the council. Representatives from the North American states and the People's Republic of China exchanged wary glances. Decades of political tension and competition resurfaced, threatening to undermine the newfound unity. In the North American states, President Anderson faced mounting pressure from his advisors. General Robert Hayes, a staunch advocate of military strength, voiced his concerns. Mr. President, we cannot rely solely on diplomacy. We must bolster our defenses and prepare for the worst. Anderson nodded, acknowledging the gravity of Hayes' words. I agree, General. But we must also work towards a lasting peace. Building trust with our allies is paramount. In Beijing, Chairman Zhao Wei addressed the Chinese Assembly. We must balance our military readiness with diplomatic efforts. The Concord's threat is real, but so is the possibility of peace. We must strive for both. As the ISA Council debated their next steps, a new crisis emerged. On the colony of Hastings, tensions boiled over between settlers from different Earth nations. Disputes over resources and governance reignited old animosities, threatening to fracture the delicate unity that had been achieved. Governor Rachel Hayes of Hastings sent an urgent message to the ISA. We need immediate assistance. The situation here is deteriorating rapidly. If we can't resolve this peacefully, it could spark a wider conflict. Captain Volkov volunteered to lead a mediation team to Hastings, hoping his presence could help quell the unrest. Accompanied by Dr. Markov and a contingent of peacekeepers, he set off, determined to prevent a crisis. Upon arrival, Volkov and his team were met with hostility from all sides. The settlers, divided along national lines, were entrenched in their positions. Volkov gathered the leaders of the factions in the central plaza, hoping to broker a truce. We're here to find a solution, Volkov began, his voice firm yet conciliatory. We can't allow our differences to destroy everything we've built. The leaders, wary but willing to listen, began to voice their grievances. An American representative, Sarah Johnson, spoke passionately about the need for equitable resource distribution. A Chinese settler, Li Wei, emphasized the importance of cultural respect and mutual understanding. Dr. Markov facilitated the discussion, her diplomatic skills proving invaluable. She encouraged each side to see beyond their immediate concerns and recognize their shared humanity. Slowly, tensions began to ease, and a tentative agreement was reached. However, not everyone was satisfied with the peaceful resolution. A radical faction, disillusioned with the ISA's leadership, plotted in the shadows. Led by a charismatic agitator named Anton Grigoriev, they believed that only through force could humanity secure its future. Grigoriev addressed his followers in a hidden enclave. The ISA has failed us. They preach unity but ignore our struggles. It's time we take matters into our own hands and show the Concord that we are not weak. As Volkov and Markov prepared to leave Hastings, they were ambushed by Grigoriev's rebels. A fierce firefight erupted, shattering the fragile peace. Volkov fought valiantly, but the rebels were well armed and determined. In the chaos, Dr. Markov was captured, taken hostage by Grigoriev himself. Your idealism blinds you, Captain, Grigoriev sneered. The Concord respects only strength. We will show them true power. Desperate to save Markov and prevent a full-scale civil war, Volkov called for reinforcements. Admiral Petrov, commanding the ISA's fleet, dispatched a strike team to Hastings. The battle that ensued was brutal, a stark reminder of humanity's darker impulses. Volkov managed to track down Grigoriev, confronting him in a tense standoff. This isn't the way, Volkov pleaded. We must stand together, not tear ourselves apart. Grigoriev's eyes burned with zeal. Unity through strength, Captain. Only then will we be free. Before Volkov could respond, a sniper's bullet ended Grigoriev's life. The rebels, leaderless and disheartened, surrendered. Dr. Markov was rescued, but the cost had been high. Returning to the ISA Council, Volkov reported the events at Hastings. The leaders, sobered by the near disaster, realized the gravity of their situation. President Anderson addressed the council, his voice filled with resolve. We cannot afford to let our differences divide us. The Concord's threat is real, but so is our potential for greatness. We must forge a path forward, united in purpose and spirit. As the council adjourned, the leaders knew that the road ahead would be fraught with challenges. But they also understood that only by standing together could humanity hope to survive and thrive in the vast, uncertain galaxy. The fragile peace held, but the threat of the Concord loomed ever larger. As humanity faced its most significant test, the ISA mobilized its forces, preparing for the inevitable clash with the alien Federation. President Anderson convened a final strategy meeting with the ISA's top military and diplomatic leaders. Captain Alexei Volkov, his face etched with determination, stood alongside Admiral Ivan Petrov and Dr. Maya Patel. The time has come, Anderson declared. We must show the Concord that humanity is more than the sum of its fractured parts. We are a united force, capable of defending our future. Admiral Petrov nodded. Our fleets are ready. The recent skirmishes have only strengthened our resolve. But we must also ensure that our civilian populations remain safe. Dr. Patel added, our scientists have been working on improving our defense systems. We've also made significant progress in developing a countermeasure against Concord technology. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, a massive evacuation was underway. The cities that would be targeted in the upcoming battle were being cleared, with civilians being relocated to safer areas. Governor Maria Santiago of Luna oversaw the evacuation efforts on her colony, ensuring that the transition was as smooth as possible. In orbit, the human fleet assembled in a defensive formation near Earth's outer rim. Captain Volkov's ship, the Aurora, was positioned at the forefront, with its advanced weapons and shields prepared for the impending assault. The fleet was a mix of military and civilian vessels, a testament to the unified front humanity was presenting. The Concord fleet arrived in the designated sector, their ships looming ominously against the backdrop of space. The alien ships were massive and technologically advanced, their sleek designs and imposing presence a stark contrast to humanity's more rugged vessels. As the Concord ships approached, Rawlock's voice boomed across the comms. Humanity, your time to prove your worth has come. Prepare for judgment. President Anderson, monitoring the situation from Earth's command center, took a deep breath. We stand on the precipice of our greatest challenge. Our goal is not only to defend our worlds but to demonstrate our capacity for unity and resilience. The battle commenced with a barrage of energy beams and missiles. The human fleet engaged the Concord forces, each ship maneuvering with precision. Captain Volkov issued commands with a calm intensity, directing his crew and coordinating with allied ships. Shields at maximum power, Volkov ordered. Prepare countermeasures and target their weapon arrays. The Concord ships were formidable, their weapons cutting through human defenses with alarming efficiency. Yet, humanity's adaptability and ingenuity began to show. The new countermeasures developed by Dr. Patel's team proved effective, disrupting the Concord's advanced targeting systems. Despite the initial setbacks, the tide began to turn. The human fleet, employing innovative tactics and exploiting weaknesses in the Concord's formations, managed to inflict significant damage. The Aurora's precision strikes targeted key Concord vessels, disrupting their coordination. Dr. Maya Patel monitored the battle from the command center. Our countermeasures are working. We're starting to see a shift in the balance of power. As the battle raged, Rawlock observed the conflict with growing concern. The Concord's once overwhelming superiority was being challenged. This cannot be, he muttered, frustration evident in his voice. They are supposed to be weak. On Earth, the evacuation efforts continued, with Governor Santiago ensuring that the remaining civilians were safely relocated. The sight of the distant battle in the sky served as a stark reminder of the stakes involved. In the midst of the chaos, Captain Volkov and his team managed to make a daring move. They identified a critical vulnerability in the Concord flagship's shielding. Volkov, taking a calculated risk, ordered a concentrated assault on the flagship. "Prepare for a full-scale offensive," Volkov commanded. "Target their central core." The Aurora and its allied ships unleashed a coordinated barrage of firepower. The Concord flagship, struck by multiple direct hits, began to falter. The energy shields failed, and the once imposing vessel shuddered under the relentless assault. Inside the flagship, Rawlock's frustration reached its peak. "This is not how it was supposed to be. We underestimated them." In a final, desperate effort, Rawlock attempted to rally his remaining forces. "Retreat and regroup. We will reassess and return stronger." As the Concord flagship withdrew, the remaining Concord forces followed suit, their retreat marking a significant victory for humanity. The human fleet, battered but triumphant, watched as the alien ships disappeared into the depths of space. Captain Volkov and Admiral Petrov surveyed the aftermath of the battle. "We've held them off, but this conflict is far from over," Volkov remarked, his gaze fixed on the distant stars. Admiral Petrov agreed. "Our victory today is a testament to our unity and resolve. But we must remain vigilant." Back on Earth, President Anderson addressed the world with a message of hope and determination. "Today, humanity has shown its strength and unity. We have proven that we are not weak, but resilient. The Concord's retreat is just the beginning of a new chapter. Humans are weak, but humanity is strong."